Wild-Eyed and Wicked is a gripping psychological thriller that navigates the treacherous boundary between illusion and reality, steeped in themes of trauma, grief, and the magnetic pull of heroism. The narrative centers on Lily Pierce, a woman estranged from her family who is compelled to confront her haunting past after her father Marcus Pierce is diagnosed with a degenerative mental illness. As memories resurface, Lily's perception of reality begins to distort, leading her into an epic struggle for redemption, healing, and self-discovery. The film commences with Lily's reluctant return to her childhood home, where she finds her father, a once celebrated academic now engulfed by dementia, lost in his own fragmented mind. The home, once vibrant with remnants of Marcus's scholarly achievements, now stands as a dilapidated monument to faded memories. Upon her arrival, Marcus expresses a belief in a lurking evil, something ancient and supernatural. Initially, Lily attributes his claims to his deteriorating condition, yet these warnings resonate with unsettling echoes of the dark childhood tales he used to share, stories that had both captivated and frightened her. As Lily acclimates to her old surroundings, she becomes increasingly immersed in disturbing hallucinations and terrifying visions. The woods near her family home seem to conceal sinister shadows, and at night she hears unsettling whispers and sees ghostly figures. Her father's cryptic proclamations about an ancient adversary they once vanquished stir something deep within her psyche. These unsettling experiences provoke vivid flashbacks to her childhood, a time filled with preparation for unseen battles against dreadful entities, where sword training and enigmatic rituals were part of her upbringing. Nostalgic yet traumatic, these memories intertwine and flood her consciousness. Lily's experiences begin to alienate her from the community, including her childhood friend Sam, who now serves as a police officer. As he struggles to support her, the townspeople regard Marcus as just an old man losing his grip on reality, raising concerns about Lily's own mental health. Isolation envelopes her as she seeks refuge in the increasingly bizarre realm her father inhabits. An exploration of Marcus's study reveals a journal detailing a hidden legacy of monstrous beings known as the Hallowed Ones, creatures that thrive on suffering while masquerading in human forms. This journal indicates a lineage of guardians meant to combat these forces, suggesting that Lily is the intended inheritor of this weighty responsibility. The film artfully intertwines themes of personal and familial trauma with a cosmic confrontation, challenging the perception of reality and the nature of heroism against a backdrop of psychological unraveling. Lily's journey unfolds in a world where fantasy and reality intertwine, beginning with her growing suspicion of being stalked by an unseen presence. The plot thickens when a neighbor is discovered dead under enigmatic circumstances, and Lily's father's health declines quickly, leading him to mutter strange incantations and speak of monsters gaining strength. During moments of clarity, he urges Lily to remember her true self, igniting her own paranoia as she starts to see the signs he taught her: shifting shadows, odd behaviors, and whispers in the dark. As her mental state deteriorates, Lily immerses herself deeper into her father's world, donning the armor he made for her as a child and retrieving the family's ancient sword. When her friend Sam attempts to help her by suggesting she seek psychiatric care, Lily perceives him as one of the Hallowed Ones, a figure from Marcus's lore, and in a frenzy of paranoia she attacks him, leaving him deeply shaken and worried about her mental health. In an intense moment of isolation while hiding in the woods, Lily encounters a monstrous being emerging from the ground. This entity taunts her by resurrecting painful childhood memories, particularly a traumatic event that fractured her family. It claims her brokenness and asserts that Marcus's legacy is built on lies. This creature serves as both a reflection of her trauma and the twisted myths cultivated by her father surrounding their suffering. The climax sees Lily return home to find her father in a catatonic state, the house enveloped in darkness. She descends into the basement, a site of her former training, discovering an unfamiliar door that leads to a vast chamber adorned with strange markings and relics. It is here that she faces the creature again. The nature of this final battle, whether real or symbolic, remains intentionally ambiguous. Armed with the sword forged by her father, Lily confronts and defeats the monster, igniting flames that consume the chamber. After the fire destroys the house, Lily emerges from the woods injured yet alive, where Sam finds her and leads her to safety. The final moments carry a sense of ambiguity. Although Lily appears more composed and empowered, it is unclear whether she has vanquished real monsters or merely confronted the mental demons inherited from her father's delusions. What resonates is Lily's reclamation of her narrative. She visits her father in a care facility where he remains silent but seems at peace. In a poignant farewell, she leaves the sword by his bedside, letting go of the mythic identity he imposed on her. Wild-Eyed and Wicked is a film that intricately weaves themes of belief, memory, and trauma, inviting the audience to explore the complexities of a woman's relationship with her father's mental illness and the haunting narratives of her childhood. The movie operates on two levels: as a supernatural fantasy and as a psychological drama, where Lily Pierce is confronted with the lingering effects of her father Marcus's deteriorating mind. When Lily returns to her family's rural estate, she finds herself amid a strange mix of nostalgia and dread. Once celebrated for his academic prowess and eccentric views on mythology, Marcus is now a man plagued by his own convictions, believing that an ancient evil threatens him once more. The environment of the house, filled with esoteric journals, medieval artifacts, and weapons, underscores the surreal blend of her childhood fantasies and painful realities. The film begins with Lily caught in the turmoil of her father's mental decline. As she tries to care for him amid his confusing and disturbing ramblings about the Hallowed Ones, parasitic beings that supposedly feed on human suffering, she grapples with her own skepticism. Initially dismissing his tales as manifestations of dementia, her perception begins to shift when strange occurrences unfold around her. Flickering lights, unnatural shadows, and eerie noises resonate from the woods, inciting a growing uncertainty about what is real and what resides in the realm of the supernatural. A pivotal character in Lily's journey is Sam, a childhood friend who now works in law enforcement. His role provides a grounded perspective. He cares for Lily yet questions her father's claims. As their connection deepens, Lily begins sharing snippets of her father's dark mythology that frame her childhood in a new light. The mythology suggests that monstrous entities disguise themselves as humans, and a chosen guardian once thought to be Lily was destined to confront and eradicate these threats. Lily's exploration of her father's journals reveals graphic accounts of his previous battles with these creatures, which resonate uncomfortably with her buried memories. One striking entry recounts a traumatic event where Marcus claimed to have vanquished one of the Hallowed Ones, a memory that Lily recalls only through the haze of blood and terror. As the narrative unfolds, Lily transforms from a passive observer of her father's decline into an empowered figure wrestling with the generational trauma handed down to her. As she embraces her heritage and her role as a potential guardian, she regains her agency in a life intertwined with chaos. The film concludes with an evocative image of Lily staring into the silent woods, a contrast to the nightmares that once haunted her, symbolizing her newfound strength and resolution. Lily, drawn by a mysterious sound late at night, ventures into the woods and stumbles upon a ceremonial stone circle largely overgrown but still bearing enigmatic sigils. In this eerie setting, she spots a humanoid figure with unnatural eyes gazing at her before it vanishes, deepening her sense of fear. In response to this unsettling experience, she begins to train with the sword her father crafted for her, revisiting the childhood drills she once practiced. Throughout the narrative, scenes of Lily's training are interspersed with Marcus's fragmented memories, hinting that Lily's mother might have fallen prey to otherworldly creatures, or alternatively insinuating that Marcus could have been responsible for causing her harm during a moment of insanity. As Lily grapples with distinguishing between memory and myth, her sense of paranoia grows. She comes to suspect her neighbors of being hollowed, a term denoting some form of unnatural transformation. Even Sam, a close confidant, begins to raise doubt in her mind, particularly when he dismisses her father's teachings as mere folklore. To shield herself, Lily resorts to sleeping in her old armor, intently listening to the whispers that fill the night and reciting passages from her father's journal as a protective ritual. The townsfolk start to regard her with the same apprehension they have long reserved for Marcus, amplifying her isolation. As her paranoia peaks, Lily returns to the forest, where she confronts a grotesque creature that appears to have emerged from the earth itself. Unlike her previous horrific encounters, this creature does not attack. Instead, it speaks to her in her father's voice before transitioning to her own, mocking her with vivid recollections of her past. The encounter leaves her unstable. She collapses on the forest floor, plunged into a hallucinatory state where she engages in conversations with her younger self and her mother. When she regains consciousness, Marcus is by her side, presenting a stark, grave demeanor. He insists that she must carry on the unfinished work he started. This complicated interplay of fear, memory, and familial connection propels Lily into a confrontation with her legacy, her lineage, and the supernatural forces that haunt her life. As she navigates her descent into paranoia and delusion, it becomes increasingly difficult to discern the lines between reality and the sinister mythos enveloping her life. Marcus's presence becomes both a guiding force and a harbinger of potential doom, urging her into a destiny intertwined with darkness and a fight for survival against the unknown. If you enjoy watching this video, then subscribe to Angel Recaps for the latest movies explanation.